Welcome to my channel, folks. We're going to do a small liquor chat. This was kind of inspired by Diamond Addiction. I was watching one of her videos, and she mentioned, but before we start, this is not intended for children. If you are under the age 18, I'm asking you to go bye-bye. This is just for adults, only for adults. Sorry. Okay. Now that being said, this is inspired by Diamond Addiction. But first, let me put in the disclaimer. Okay, now that's done. Okay. This is going to be a little bit about my father and some of the stuff, because when I've seen her video, I can relate to it. Been there, done that. I don't remember my parents ever being married. They were just divorced. I don't refer to him as my father. I call him the sperm donor, because basically that's all he was. I was a daddy's girl. I asked my mother to live with my father at the age of 7. I was told no. I proceeded to make my mother's life miserable as I could possibly be. What color am I looking for? Okay, I'll continue as soon as I find this color. I gotta turn on the light, folks. I'll be right back. Okay. First, I am working on the w.i.p DP. There we go. Let's get you back into place. I don't know why you're not wanting to stick all of a sudden. Anyways, like I was saying, I kind of made her life miserable. And our visits with our father weren't weekends. When they divorced, he just basically decided to forget that he had kids, went back up to Granite City, Illinois, the stickiest town that ever walked the face of this earth. I tell you, that smells. Okay. What color? You. And 1 is 917. And I was actually born in Granite City, Illinois. And I went to live with him. By this time he was married to, I'm sorry, but she was a bitch. Total bitch. And when she died, he celebrated it. But anyways, they would sit me down on a nightly basis almost. And my father, with his wife, basically he would tell me that he wished he never met my mother, and I could understand that because they were divorced. But he would do two things. He would tell me that he wished when they got divorced that he could have just forgot he had kids. That he wished we had never been born, and that we were nothing but a responsibility and a ring around his neck. Now, at 13, that was betrayal because I wasn't daddy's girl. But he would also lie about my mother, claiming that she had affairs. Well, come to truth to find out, the one who was having an affair was not my mother, it was him with his tutor. But he had me convinced. I mean, I wrote my mother some horrible, horrible letters. I mean, they were bad. And after a while, she did call him. I was made by Charles, the donor, to write a letter of apology, and I did. I had no rules, okay? I didn't. I didn't have a curfew. But the whole time I was living there, that's what he did. No, I wasn't 13. I was like 15. I'm sorry, folks. I was 15. And I didn't get into drugs or anything like that because I hung around the good kids. And when they had to go home, what was there for me to do? I go home. It just made my life miserable. I eventually met a man who, he was 22 years old. One thing led to another, and I'm not getting into that. But I turned up pregnant. Now, I was deathly sick. I hit it as far as long as I could. Oh my God, did I do the right? Oh my God. Yeah, it's the right color. It just doesn't look good with that purple. Oh wow. When he did find out, I was basically imprisoned in my room. I wasn't allowed out. His answer to the problem was basically to kick me out. And that meant send me back to my mother's. Now, as far as active pregnancy is concerned, it never came to fruition. I was pressured into having an abortion that I did not want. The doctor, he wouldn't do it till I was almost 5 months. I never felt the baby move or anything like that. After the procedure, they told my mother that the reason I was so sick was they felt the baby was dead because they could never hear a heartbeat, that I didn't feel movements. They said it was either deceased or severely deformed, but they felt it was dead, and that I probably would have went into miscarriage on my own. I was supposed to go back to my father the following summer, but that did not happen. I did go back in my senior year, but they made my life so miserable that I left after graduating from high school. The point is here, and the thing was, he put this, talked about my mother so much, I had to find out, and I did. Apparently, when he was going to college, married to my mother, was pregnant with my sister, and she had 2 kids, me and my brother, pregnant with the third one, had a tutor, and he had an affair with her. He was the one being unfaithful, and he was caught because my aunt, who was going to college, saw them together. But that should have been it for me to disown him. It did damage our relationship because he thought by bad-mouthing my mother, he could turn me against her. I felt trapped in the middle. On where my loyalty should have laid. But in the end, I disowned him. There was other reasons too, and maybe I'll do that in another video. But the point is this. You badmouth the absentee parent, it's going to backfire. They may work for a while, but when they come grown and are an adult, they're going to question it. And that's what happens when you put kids in the middle. I felt so strongly about it that the first time my kid's dad and I just had Bobby at the time. I left his butt while I was pregnant with Bobby. When we got back together and had Joseph, and well, shoot, that's another video, but the point is this, folks. I never badmouth my kid's father. When we got back together and I was pregnant with Joseph, he signed the papers. They couldn't go after me for the money, only him. and it did put a financial strain. So I said, well, let me go to work. And there was a little bit of an argument about that because he did not want me working. He wanted me to stay with the kids. And I says, it's just till we get the hospital bill paid, and then I'll quit. I took a PM job, so the kids would not actually be with the babysitter, but maybe a couple hours. And he would pick me up from work. Never had the kids in their pajamas. So the day it happened and they were all in their pajamas, I thought, oh, how nice. I thought that to the morning when I went to give my oldest a bath and found bruises and cut marks across his little butt. Stupid me, I thought that it was the babysitter. However, when I called him at work, he decided to make a confession. I sent my kids to my cousin's house. I had grabbed a gun with the intentions of shooting him. And my brother called because Anita figured it out that I was going to do something. And he says, you'll go to jail if you kill him. And I said, that's okay, I'll go to jail. He says, well, you can get the death penalty. And I says, I'll die knowing my kids will be safe. He says, well, who's going to raise your kids? Because it can't be me. Do you want mom to raise them? Well, that put an end to that number. So instead, I called his job because his reputation was really important to him. And I destroyed his reputation by telling him. And he says, well, he's on his way home. I said, okay. When he walked in, I went to hitting on him, hit me, because he deserved it. I left the kids. I told him he could never see them again. And he never did. I told him to keep these child support because I didn't want it. I had moved to Indiana. Now at one point, but the thing to deal with there, my kids, boys, Bobby knows about what happened, but I never, ever badmouth my kids. And it was only when he was an adult and he was talking negative about his father because he'd never seen them. I says, well, wait a minute, that is my fault. He says, no, it's his fault because he could have took you to court. That's when I told him I don't believe in bad-mouthing the other parent because it will backfire on you. So that's all I got to say on that issue. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys, I have really debated this. I do not have breast cancer, as you all know. I had been wanting to make a video since I found out. just because, you know, when I first, they found something and sent me for a biopsy, I was more afraid of the biopsy results, the biopsy itself, than I was of the results. That not knowing. And because the videos I found on YouTube on it, people who got through it, did tell a whole lot. They left a lot out. So, you know, it is important to have a breast and your breasts checked out through mammogram. But if you are at, they say they're going to find something, they said you to have a biopsy, don't assume like I did. I mean, I assumed. When the doctor came in with the result, I looked at her and said, it's cancer, isn't it? She goes, oh, no. So don't assume, because as it turns out, and I said to her, half the biopsies turn out negative. Quiet, please! For cancer. So what it is, if they think they find something, they're going to send you in for another mammogram to check it out a little bit further. At that point, they'll decide if you should have a biopsy. And it is pain-free. Your husband, your boyfriend, at least the place I went to, would not allow them in. So the only one who was in there was the doctor and me and this nurse. But it starts off with the nurse who explained the procedure and stuff. This is what they don't tell you. The exam table you go on has a hole kind of like in the center, and that's where your boobs go. And they clamp this like sonogram on there, and they go to give you a shot of Novocaine. Now, I was told, oh, you'll feel some burning. I felt no burning. Said I would feel some pressure. I felt no pressure at all. When they went to clip it, I did kind of feel that it hurt, and they saw it on my face and gave me more Novocaine. But basically, I've been up all night. I didn't get no sleep. It doesn't hurt. Quiet, please! I fell asleep on the table. I had a very good nurse that was in there with me. He was by my side. So it's really great. The thing is, when they do it, they leave, I got a piece of metal in here. Clamp. So now where I didn't have a bump, I now have a bump. I'm going to try to see if I can talk them into taking that out. Because I can't deal with it. It's aggravating. And that's all there was to it. It's easy. It is totally pain-free. Totally pain-free. It does not cause you any pain. Like I said, I could fall asleep. So don't let that scare you away. Do not let your age scare you. Okay? Because if you check YouTube, we got a teenager had to go in for a biopsy. 20-year-olds with breast cancer. So you really, really have to keep that out, checked up. Because if it's caught early, you're going to beat it. It's when you don't catch it early enough. Anyways, like I said, this is going to be a short video. I mainly decided to make it because of a certain sub on her video. So I just want anybody out there knowing, if you're divorced and the hubby, ex-hubby, ex-wife, whatever is bad-mouthing your kids, it is abuse, as far as I'm concerned. You can't imagine what it's like to feel like your loyalties have to be turned. My mother never did it. She never badmouthed my father. She's gone to great lengths to defend him even today, even though the bastard's dead. Next time I do a WIP chat, I will give you more stories on him and what actually did it. Because this actually, what he did is the kid distanced me from him, but I didn't own him. I went through the stage, I was going to make this man with me. Well, you can't make a parent love you. So, happy diamond painting. I will see you next time. If you're new here, be sure to enter my giveaway because it's gonna be in a few days. So, happy diamond painting. I will put the link below. Oh, also, I want to let you know that I started a Facebook. I'm going to put the link in there too. And on this Facebook, if you are a creator, yes, I am going to allow you to post your videos with the guidelines so it's not down on anybody type of thing, and it's not excessive. I will put the link there. It's called Diamond Painting Dreamers. Oh, there is something I also found out, folks, on Victorian Moon. They think he's slick. And nearly they got a company called Luna. They're the same company. It's just they're a sister company per se. But they're basically the same company. Just different office, a different name. But they're one and the same. I guess they're trying to expand. So of course I want to order from them. Because you order from them, you're ordering from Diamond Moon. Okay, so be sure to join my group. And happy diamond painting, and I will see you later. And have a good day.